I am Navy Captain Anthony Chedudago, retired. In the last episode, we discussed terminologies, and that brought about several questions, of which I'm very happy about them. We looked at redundancy and economic waste as it is applicable to the stock exchange market as well as the investors. Basically, what I said about economic waste is the non-use of what we have maximally for the purpose of our advantages. I use cars. In some houses, you have several cars parked. Some of the cars are tax special cars, some are tax cars for special occasion. But we fail to understand that cars has lifespan, in the sense that whether we use them or not, they will go bad when it is time. For example, tires expire after a particular period of time. Batteries, same thing. In some cases, batteries after 2 years, they tend to expire. So when you look at the stock market, you have 4 main advantages, which are ambassadorial, diplomatic, economic, political, and social advantages. If these 4 major things are not used the way they should, they become economic waste. Before I go further, let me touch on cars again. Please, cars used for the purpose of life savings should not be regarded as being involved in redundancy and economic waste, in the sense that ambulances that are parked in hospitals should not be seen as economic waste, because they are there for life savings, and life has no duplicate. Hence, we need to exclude them. Now, let us go into what is known as reserve. In companies, you will see reserve in the account. How do we derive this reserve? When a company declares profit, and the profit is shared based on the number of ordinary shares it has, it will, when that sharing will result into what is known as earning per share. Earning per share in most cases is more than the dividend declared. The dividend declared, when you deduct it from earning per share, it will give us what is known as reserve. The reserve is kept in company account in case of unforeseen circumstances. The reserve itself belongs to investors or the shareholders. So anytime there is certain unforeseen circumstances, instead of calling on shareholders come in and solve the problem, the money in that reserve account will be used and accounted to shareholders. How is it accounted for? In the annual general meeting, how to spend that money will be proposed. That's what leads to declaration of bonuses. Then the shareholders present, or those that will send their proxies, will approve it. If it is approved, then the reserve can be utilized. If it is not, then it will go back to status quo. Every shareholder or investor has power in that company. So that accounts for what I meant by reserve, as well as earning per share and dividend. Now let us look at price earning ratio. Price earning ratio is simply the period to take an investor to recoup the amount of money he invested in the stock exchange market, that is in a particular company. How do we derive it? Price earning ratio could be derived by dividing the current market price by earning per share. That will be in terms of years. When you divide the current market price by earning per share, in most cases, it will come up with large volume of figure. Remember, it is measured in terms of years. That can be frightening, in the sense that some investors will say, no, will they wait for so number of years? Actually, stock investment should not be static, in the sense that hence somebody is using it maximally. You do not even have to wait. Many tend to say investment in stock exchange market is for retirement. It is not just for retirement. Retirement is part of it. You are to use it day and night. At high price, investors are expected to sell. At low price, they are expected to buy. There was a question that came up. to say if every investor want to sell at the same time, except there is an alarm, that is when such, maybe something is wrong, that is when such will come up. If we look at the term issue, simple meaning of issue could be described by saying that one man's meat is another man's poison. So when you have need to dispose of your shares, that is when some people will have need to buy shares. Everybody cannot sell at the same time. Selling at the same time means abnormality.